sa individual. For example, kanang one person decides kanang what to buy.
Let's move on to microeconomics. Microeconomics studies how individuals and small units in the economy make decisions, such as consumers, workers, and sellers. It includes supply and demand, pricing, wages, and competition. An example of a microeconomic problem is a seller who has excess goods but cannot sell them. Okay, so ang microeconomics, like think of it is a small picture lang sa economy. Dili ni about sa whole country or global economy, but it's all about individual people and small businesses like sa consumers, workers, sellers, and sa stores. So it looks at how they make decisions bitaw, how supply and demand affect sa mga presyo, how wages work, and giunsa pag compete sa usa ka business. So like for example, imagine nimo ang seller na siya daghang produkto pero walay mo palit. So that's a microeconomic problem na. So it's all about that one seller trying to figure out unsa iyahang buhaton. Next would be scarcity. Scarcity means resources are limited while human needs and wants are unlimited. This is why people experience problems like high gasoline prices, food shortages, or students having inefficient allowance for school supplies. Scarcity is the main reason economics is studies. Ang kaning scarcity, mao gyud na siya ang big reason nganong ang economics kay ni-exist. It basically means nga kanang there's not enough resources bitaw to satisfy everyone's wants kay kita ninyo daghan magitag mga wants kunta sa ato mga resources because our resources are limited but ang ato ang mga human wants are unlimited. So mao gid na no nga people always complain all the time. Sama sa pagtaas sa presyo sa gasolina, kulang ang chicken sa market, or ang mga estudyante kay kanang wala sila enough allowance para silang mga libro o mga school supplies. So, scarcity is real and dili gud nato siya malikayan. So, that is why we need economics nga ma-figure out na siya kung unsaon pag-deal sa not enough. Then, we have economics and choice. Economics is a study of how people allocate scarce resources to satisfy their needs. According to Alfred Marshall, it deals with everyday human activities related to earning and using resources for well-being because income and purchasing power are limited. So people are forced to make choices. Since resources are limited, we are forced to make choices. Again, ang economics is a study of how people allocate resources to satisfy their needs. According to Alfred Marshall, he said that it's about everyday life. How we earn, giunsa nato pagasto, giunsa nato paggamit, kung unsay naa nato for well-being. For example, if naara kay 500 pesos for groceries and school stuff. And sa kanang 500 pesos, dili mo mapalitanan. Mo nang you gotta choose, maybe mo buy ba ka og more rice and less lang as snacks imong paliton because then again, ang kanang kuan is it's mas pilion nimo kung unsay importante, kung unsay needs gyud nimo maayo mo nang mobile ka og more rice and less ra pod ang snacks nga imong baliton. And that's already economics in action. It's all about choices. Now, to move forward, we have relative scarcity. Scarcity is relative because people must choose what to prioritize. Even rich people face scarcity, such as choosing between buying a house or several cars, while poor families may need to choose between sending children to school or letting them work. Ang scarcity isn't the same for everyone. It's relative or kumbaga lailahi sila para sa mga dato as well as para sa mga poor families. Even gani ang mga rich people kay maka-face sila kanang scarcity. Imagine for sa kanang mga rich people na sila 5 million pesos. And ang kana sa 5 million pesos is dili nila mapalit ang house, ang car, ang mga designer bag sa usa ra ka kagasto o sa usa ra ka sa usa ra ka bulto like sud sa kanang 5 million. While sa kanang para sa poor families kay ang ilang choices is mas lisod. Kay nga naman maybe they have man to decide if ang ilang anak ilang paeskwelahon or ilang patrabahoon to help their family. Scarcity always forces people due to prioritize kung unsay mas importante or unsay mas need nila. Causes of scarcity. Sometimes, it's not that things can be produced, it's how we use resources. For example, coconuts grow easily here sa Philippines. Pero if farmers decide to plant mangoes instead, then coconuts become scarce. Same with the rice. Before, daghan kay tag rice lands, but when lands are converted into subdivisions, we produce less rice and end up importing it. Muna, scarcity can happen because resources are not used in the best way, that's called misallocation. Managing scarcity. People manage scarcity by prioritizing important needs. Families may choose food over air conditioning when electricity prices rise, or schools price over excessive texting. Giving up less important wants helps maximize satisfaction. Managing scarcity is all about prioritizing gyud kung unsay mas angayan nga gastuhan, unsay angayan nimo nga need gyud. Since dili man nimo makuha tanan, you gotta focus on what matters most. Families choose food over aircon when ang electricity kay mutaas ang billings, or ang kanang student kay ang mga students is mupik sila og school supplies over sa mga unnecessary stuff. Basically, imo i-sacrifice ang mas less important thing so para ma-meet nimo ang imuhang essential needs and ma-satisfied lang gihapon. That's how make people the most out of what they have. Shortage versus scarcity. A shortage happens when supply is not enough to meet demand. It is different from scarcity but can cost it. For example, a rice shortage increases prices, making rice harder to afford. Consumers adjust by using substitutes like mixing rice with corn. A shortage happens when supply is less than demand. Scarcity, on the other hand, is about limited resources in general. So, ang shortage can cause scarcity, but they are not the same thing. Lahi-lahi silang duha. For example, if naay rice shortage, ang presyo kay mutaas. Ang rice kay kanang mahimo siyang lisod siya ma-afford sa mga katawhan. And ang people kay ma-feel nila nga na scarce sila, no, nakulangan or dili enough ang resources ang rice. Ang ilang gibuhat is that they mix rice with corn or nag-use sila mga substitutes nga mga pagkaon without spending kanang too much, without spending dako-dako gyud. So, that's people adjusting to limited resources. Basically, economics at work in real life.